Excellency, dear members of the Diplomatic Corps, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Guten Abend, herzlich willkommen im Goethe-Institut. Mein Name ist Arpad Sölter, ich leite das Goethe-Institut hier in Schweden. I'm most delighted to have your presence tonight. On behalf of the Goethe-Institut, I'm pleased to extend my warmest welcome to all of you. We feel very, very fortunate to have gathered such prominent experts, exquisite speakers and moderators from Germany and from Sweden. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for being with us. Restitution's importance within reconciliation processes is obvious. Initially, Daniel, do you remember, my somewhat sloppy internal working title for this conference was Restitution, Do's and Don'ts in Restitution. Have we gone too far, or rather not far enough? How should art stolen by Nazis be handled? What can the best ways for claimants to achieve a fair and just solution look like? Evidently, this question touches history, politics, ethics, property rights, legal affairs, and needless to say, respect for the victims of persecution and their relatives. Obviously, the legal difficulties in determining claims linked to events 80 years ago or more can be immense. Germany, however, is not alone in struggling to resolve such issues. The debate has reached Sweden. Many of you will have noticed Anders Riedel's article in Svenska Dagbladet published today. He's with us tonight, but we haven't met yet. Anders, are you here? I know you are on the reservation list. Certainly we have witnessed a growing momentum in recent weeks and over the last couple of years. Just as an incident, on a sunny bright day, I went to see Bestandsaufnahme Gurlitt with my father-in-law, and I should also add he's a Holocaust survivor. We went together to the Bundeskunsthalle Bonn, and the queue was incredibly long, and it was very hard to come by any tickets. And after 4 long hours of waiting in the local bookstore, in the museum store, and yes, we bought lots of books, and to make matters worse, we ate far too much Apfelstrudel with whipped cream too. The gallery inside was fully packed. You could only get in once somebody left the gallery. That was just to describe the atmosphere. The public attention and awareness of claims to works of art has increased and has left, and it has gone beyond the museum circles, beyond the expert circles, and so has the pressure. Never before have I ever, in my 25 years with the Goethe-Institut, received a letter from a lawyer on the opening of a conference. There's always a first. It seems public support for restitution claims is vital to the entire process. That's a good thing. Many countries which signed up to the Washington Conference Principles on Nazi-confiscated art in 1998 do not even have state bodies set up to resolve claims, despite the recommendations of the principles. Now, our two-day conference will examine the challenges, the problems, the practices associated with restitution of Nazi-looted art by focusing on some leading examples, leading cases. Now, what are exactly our aims and objectives? Firstly, I think we'd like to discuss and compare different cases, panels, our experiences. If there's any good raison d'etre for a cultural institute, it's to create a learning curve for everyone involved. And the Germans are the learning ones. We can also learn from Sweden, maybe. Secondly, in many cases, that's certainly true. And secondly, we would like to find out what has worked, what went wrong, and why. And in this respect, this conference might even serve as a fail conference. We'd like to define more precisely, can Sweden learn and profit at all from discussions and best practices elsewhere? And thirdly, what exactly is it that Sweden needs? Right here, right now, what is it that Sweden wants? It's up to you guys to make the decisions. That's what we're here for. Now, big thank yous go to our partners, of course, who have been just terrific in orchestrating this event. such as Daniel Birnbaum, the director of the Moderna Museet here in Stockholm, also Lizzie Ovetsheya, the director of Jewish culture in Sweden. She has helped tremendously to create a momentum and raise awareness. And last but not least, a big thank you also goes to my entire crew here at the Goethe-Institut, to Daphne Springhorn, Maria Lehmann, Wieland Wanninger, to Hannah, of course. They have been extremely busy to make this possible. Tonight, we are honored to have Professor Raphael Gross with us. He's the president of Stiftung Deutsches Historisches Museum in Berlin. And we will also have a second keynote speaker, author, a world-leading expert, Catherine Hickley, on restitution claims. So first, we will listen to keynote number 1 on the power of historical judgment, and second in line is a comparison of the panels for Nazi-looted art claims. It's a comparison of the Netherlands and the practices in Austria and Germany. This will be followed by a Q&A, and afterwards you are most cordially all invited to a glass of wine outside in our library. We would like to make these discussions as accessible as possible. And there are many people who can't be with us tonight, but who sent me an email. I would love to find out with you what you guys have been doing. And even from Germany, I've just received, will there be articles being published? And so the interest is really, really there, because there's a certain momentum, as I've said earlier. So should you not wish, or should anyone not wish to be a YouTube star, please let us know. And one final request. Could you please switch off your iPhones, your iPads, anything that starts with an I, really? Thank you very much. Now, before I hand over to my friend Daniel, who will introduce our keynote speakers more formally, the ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to Sweden would like to say a few words too. Please join me in welcoming all our guests, both from Sweden, both from Germany, and please join me also in welcoming our ambassador, Jürgen Heimsöth. Thank you very much. Tack så mycket.